Hello everybody, Shayla here, and today we have a Noob to Sweat Paladin guide where we will be discussing the basics of Paladin. So in my past guides, I realized I'm giving really advanced information here to players who have played the class for several years, and while that may be helpful to some of you maybe have not played Paladin before or World of Warcraft before, so I wanted to give you clear information. So, as always, like, comment, subscribe. We'll get right into it. So, the Strength of Paladin really is the fact that you are wearing plate, you're able to heal, and you can buff people. So, first we're going to start with blessings. If you do not bless people, people are going to complain at you, and you are underperforming. The whole reason why you're brought to raids is essentially your blessings. So notice what I'm doing here now. This is rank 1 Flash of Light. I have some spell power on my gear. However, because I have this Blessing of Light up, I'm getting an increase to my healing power. So again, these blessings are good for you. They are also good for your teammates. But these blessings are going to be critical when it comes to increasing player performance. So you're going to want to make sure that you keep your blessings up. Now, in groups, they last 10 minutes. In raids, they last 30. People are going to ask you for blessings. Some of them will do it nicely. Some of them will not do it nicely. And it gets annoying when people are bitching about blessings. Again, that's an oxymoron, bitching about blessings. You're lucky to have blessings. But yeah, you have to deal with that. Just some of the realities of being a paladin. Now notice how I get that holy light bonus whenever I have that on. So that's a crit, so that doesn't count. See, it's like 2k, and then it's 2.4 with the blessing on. So that increases our performance as healers. We have Blessing of Wisdom. That's going to keep mages, locks, casters, shamans from going That's going to increase their performance as damage, as casters, or even as healers, depending on what you're blessing. We also do have Blessing of Might, which I'll go to in a second, which is going to increase the performance of your melee DPS, so your rogues, your warriors, paladins too, your ret. And that's the difference between Greater Blessing and the normal blessing. So the Greater Blessing, again, is 30 minutes. The normal blessing is going to be 10. Buffed from 5 minutes. It was super annoying because you would have to constantly re-bless. You're going to need Symbols of Kings too. Make sure you stock up on the symbols before you go to raid. Otherwise, you are going to run out midway through and not be able to bless. And then everybody is going to hate you because you are not blessing. That sounds crazy, right? Like, why would everybody hate you because you're not blessing? World of Warcraft. You know, these raiders are very expectant. You know, they see it as baseline, and it is baseline. This is basic stuff. So this is something you're going to need to get comfortable doing. If you're not comfortable blessing, you should probably pick another class, because you're gonna have a hard time. So this is Hand of Protection. This is going to be crucial in wiping threat off of casters. Now, casters can be Hand of Protection. I call it bop because Blessing of Protection was the original spell. They can be bopped and still cast. So anytime a caster is taking damage in raids or in battlegrounds, or in general, really, just throw up a Hand of Protection on them, and then they're immune, they don't do any threat, and they can go as hard as they want, and they will love you for it. So this is Hand of Sacrifice. This is going to be really important for reducing damage on players that are taking heavy damage. Maybe tanks. You don't really want to use it on tanks because if they're pulling several mobs, it's going to transfer 50 times, 30 to you, and that's going to kill you. But it can also break stealth. So if you're in battlegrounds and somebody is near you and you know that there might be a rogue around, you're going to toss that up on anybody. Just so when they get hit, if you're in a CC, it'll break. Let's get into auras. You're also going to need to manage your auras. A lot of paladins neglect their auras because they sort of seem like they're passive, so they're like, whatever. But they're really important. So we have Fire Resistance Aura, great for Molten Core, Blackwing Lair, some of the endgame dungeons. And if you have any resistance on your gear at all, it's going to stack with that resistance. So it's a huge increase to your resistances. Like 60 resistance is very important. That's a lot. So don't discount how good your auras are. A lot of paladins have like 2 favorite auras they stick in. Usually it's Ret or Sanctity for the holy damage, and that's all they do. If you are holy, it'll be concentration or devotion. But no, I've bound, look at my key bindings. I have bound my auras so I can switch between them accordingly. When you see me do my Blackrock Depths solo run, I'm switching auras just because it reduces damage. So auras are important. Finally, we have Concentration Aura, reduces spell pushback, stacks with the Spiritual Focus talent, makes you immune to pushback, and the improved talent also makes you resistant to silences, which is going to be huge if you are healing. Also huge if you're damaging. Now, Divine Intervention is going to be what you use to save a wipe in raids or in group. If the group is about to wipe and you're still alive and there is another person in the party or raid who can resurrect, you're going to sacrifice your life like a real paladin, like a real one. You're going to sacrifice your life like a real paladin, and you're going to kill yourself. You're going to martyr yourself. You're going to jihad yourself. And that person's going to res the group, and you're going to continue. And everybody's going to think you're a hero. You're the GOAT because you saved a wipe. This is Lay on Hands. This is really important. Lay on Hands is going to get rid of all your mana. If your tank is about to die and you use it, you're going to be Now, the higher ranks, they do refund like 500 mana or something like that, but in raids, that's nothing. So what you want to do is you want to Lay on Hands, keep a mana potion and tea. You Lay on Hands, boom, and then you immediately mana potion tea and you're at like 30% healing and you can continue. That is going to save your raid. And finally here we have Redemption, which is going to be what you use to resurrect. The second combat ends in raid or in dungeons and somebody's dead, it needs to be autopilot. You need to start resing them immediately because you're losing time, and if you're doing a progression run, it's going to eat up time, you know, and like seconds matter. Finally, the most important blessing in the game, Blessing of Salvation. This is going to reduce threat on players. So if somebody does too much damage and the boss gets on them, they'll die, and then you lose that damage. Salvation is going to reduce the chance of that. Salvation is critically important. If you have no other blessings except for one, Salvation in a party, in a raid, Salvation is the key, because Warlocks, Mages, and Shamans are going to rip threat and die, and they could jeopardize the run. So again, this is just for my ADHD people, just to keep it, you know, just to show you what your future is if you follow the guide. So we're going to get into seals. So first we have Seal of the Crusader. So what this seal does is it gives a holy damage bonus. So I'm going to judge this target, and see, I hit it for 377 holy damage. That's what my Seal of Righteousness does. So, and I think I actually messed this up here. I think I did not strike the target, so the seal ends up falling off. If you don't hit your target once every 10 seconds, the seal will fall off. Yeah, so I messed that up. We're going to rejudge Crusader. Wait for it. There we go. And now let's see how much damage we do with that holy damage bonus. Let's see. 482. So 100 more damage. 100 more damage because of that seal. Now that seal also gives a melee swing increase, and it can be really good with fast weapons in like a bunch of AP. It can be useful, but it's not going to do as much damage as Seal of Righteousness or Seal of Command. So we typically don't use it. But what I like to do is, like, if a mage is about to die and I'm I'll turn it on and just start like hitting them super fast. You know, like just like supercharge the attack speed, so you know they die faster. So now we're getting into Light. So Light is a seal that when used in general is going to give you a chance at healing yourself. Now, the chance at healing yourself seems to be a lot higher than when you judge it. So when you judge it, now that seal is going to heal everybody who hits your target. So all the players who attack your target have a chance to receive a little bit of health. In this case, it's 61 health. Now don't discount this. If 40 people are getting 61 health every 3 seconds, that is a substantial amount of healing done, and you are helping. So don't discount it. You can also double up on the seal, so you judge it on the target, and then you recast it and put it on yourself, just like this, and then you'll get even more. That was not a seal of light proc. That was a trinket proc. I have a healing dark mood card, the healing one. So if that crit, your seals can't crit. That was one of my trinkets critting, just for clarity. So now we have wisdom. Now wisdom is going to be your preferred one. So typically holy paladins will use seal of light because tier 3 gives a bonus to the healing done. But every other paladin is going to either use wisdom or crusader for the mana regen, just to keep, you know, mana up, and also for that bonus damage. Now notice that I am getting a bunch of mana back. We're sort of in a regeneration rotation right here. I'm getting a bunch of mana back because I have the seal up on the target, and I also have it up on myself. Now it interacts with Seal of Righteousness very uniquely. Seal of Righteousness acts as 2 melee attacks at once. So you get double procs. If you add in certain items like the Ring of Electrical Binding or the tier 2 3-set bonus, and I said tier 3 in my Blackrock Depths solo Emp run, I misspoke. It's the tier 2 ret set that gives this bonus. It's the 3-set piece, the additional damage on swing. You'll notice I get 2 or 3 swings. Now normally if I didn't have this set on, I would only get 2 swings. But because I have the bonus from this set, I'm getting 3. So yeah, it's a good mechanic to know, and for this reason, wisdom is going to be the best seal you will use in leveling, and if there are multiple mana users in the group, because you can always use mana to heal people, but if you are running low on mana and the group is running low on mana, this is going to be invaluable for your group. So you're going to want to prio that. If there's 2 paladins in the group, you know, just coordinate, talk to them, be like, hey, you want to do Wiz, I'll do Light, or hey, you want to do Crusader, I'll do Wiz. You know, just talk to people, coordinate. Just coordinate. So yeah, that is seals. We also have Seal of Justice. So this is going to keep enemies from running away. It's good for like solo content, and so you know, just it keeps enemies from fleeing, which is huge. It seems small, but a fleeing enemy can ruin a pull and can destroy the run. So if you see somebody running away into a pack, just hit them with a Seal of Justice real quick. So now, damaging attacks. Holy Strike. Did you see how that crit for 406? The healing done for your party members is going to be double what it heals you. So the healing on yourself is halved. So 4 other people, if they were standing next to me, would have been healed for 800 HP. So let's do the math real quick. 8 times 4 is what is that? 24? I don't know. I'm not a math. Yeah, I think it's 24. 8 times. Well, hey, we have a calculator. 8 times 4. We can be right. 8 times 4 is 32. I'm wrong. 8 times 3 is 24. That's why I'm a paladin, not a mage. So that's 8 times 4 is 3,200 plus the 400 you did. That's 3,600 healing in the swing of your weapon. That's good healing. That's good. That's valuable healing. That's more than your flashlight. That's more than your holy light, unless it crits. So Holy Strike is good. We also have Crusader, so it's going to increase swing time and cast speed time. Now, this is going to be good for healing faster, attacking faster. It increases your DPS. Haste is very good because the more attacks per second, the more damage per second. So this is going to be really good for increasing DPS. It is also good for resetting Holy Shock when you are talented into Blessed Strikes. Now, Blessed Strikes is a fantastic talent. It's going to give you Holy Power scaling on your Holy Strike, and it's going to give you a Holy Shock reset whenever you Crusader Strike, which is going to be mandatory. It is mandatory if you are doing solo runs, like Blackrock Depths or like Skullomance or Strath Live. I'm working on my solo run. I have to think about it in Theorycraft to get resistance armor, but it's coming. We're at least going to get to the laboratory. That's the goal. If we can do the whole dungeon, I'm going to be overjoyed. We'll see about that because Skullomance is a lot more difficult than Blackrock Depths. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for me. And again, we're going to have a look into your future here. So if you stick with this class and, you continue with it, it's not always going to be easy. You may not always be #1 DPS. You may not always be #1 heals. But you're going to have a good time. You're going to enjoy yourself. And more importantly, you're going to bring the best out of your party members. That is what Paladin is about. Bringing the best out of your team. God damn it, you're a support class. You need to fucking play like it. And I'm being harsh because I see a lot of you players, a lot of you Flavor of the Month Paladins not playing support. And it breaks my heart. That's it for me. I love you to death. Some of you, most of you, not all of you. Have a good day. Peace.